Dario Gradi studied the video of Saturday's home defeat by Burnley, but didn't in the end see too much wrong with the performance, so it's the same starting 11 as then, and that represents just one alteration from the team sheet at Goodison Park. Neil Sorvel has lost out to a player with Premiership experience, Wayne Collins, who a few years ago helped Sheffield Wednesday beat Everton in the top division. Youngsters are plenty, as you would expect at this club. David Wright, Kenny Lunt and Rob Hulse in their early 20s, and two teenagers, David Vaughan and Dean Ashton.
Well, in the first time, Martin, I think Clayton Ince's handling of the ball was fantastic. He had to deal with a lot of aerial stuff. He dealt with it brilliantly, I thought, on the day. He's going to have to do the same again tonight. And so have Soji and Walter at centre-back. Vitally important that those two play as well and give Crewe a platform to build from, particularly early in the game. And I just wonder about David Wright. You talked about one of the up-and-coming real talents. I think Ginola might be more restricted, i.e. left-hand side, against David Wright. It's going to be fascinating to see how he copes with a mercurial Frenchman, should he get enough of the ball. In midfield, they're a good quartet. You see Kenny Lunt on the right-hand side. He'll tuck in slightly, plays just off the right-hand side. It allows Dave Brammer just to drop slightly deeper, and it gives him that nice balance in midfield. And I think you were saying to me, they feel happy, Crewe. If Brammer plays well, then normally Crewe play well. So keep your eyes open for a big performance from Dave Brammer in midfield. And up front, well, they're two big lads. They're powerful lads. They're young. They're hungry for success. They're hungry for reputations to be made. And Ashton and Hulse have got the power and the height to trouble Everton, as they did at Goodison. Hulse hit the bar. Ashton had a wonderful chance from across in the first half, should have done better. I think if they get this kind of chances that they missed at Goodison, they might just take them tonight.
It has seemed, for much of Walter Smith's 4 seasons in England, finding enough fit players has been the problem. Well, not now, with only Steve Watson and Duncan Ferguson not fully fit, plus the cup-tied Lee Carsley not available tonight. So back in the starting 11, Thomas Radzinski, a scoring substitute at Anfield on Saturday, and in midfield, Nicholas Alexanderson and Mark Pembridge. David Ginola, as Andy was saying, he does keep his place, but still on the outside looking in, Paul Gascoigne.
Well, I think Walter Smith's extremely happy he can choose another front man, but looking at the back, it's same again. Sometimes Walter likes a 3 at the back, goes in with it. Not tonight. It's going to be the 4 at the back, and big emphasis on the 2 experienced players there, Stubbs and Weir, keeping a hold of things. Simonson giving an accomplished and controlled performance in goal. That's important for Everton, but I don't think that's the problem area. It's ahead of that. And when we get into midfield, what I think we've got tonight from an Everton point of view is people who can create chances. I think Alexanderson, Gemmell and Pembridge are all people who can pick out a pass or pick out a cross, and that might be important tonight. David Ginola, we see on the left-hand side, is going to be asked to play a lot further forward. Whether he gets the option to roam from there, I don't know, Martin. But I think Ginola's better playing him there. Start him there and let him go from there and say, when you lose it, get back there. Give him a starting position. I don't think he works when you just let him wander off one. And that's why I think Everton are more of a threat with Radzinski and Campbell. They can get enough to the ball to those two, then they could cause plenty of problems.
Well, these players about to go out into a stadium where there's a full house for a replay that, strangely, Crewe didn't really want. They're way behind in their Division 1 schedule, have dropped to the very brink of relegation. But Dario Gradi and his players are relishing tonight's challenge now that it is here. Collectively, they did well at Everton, who lacked Premiership firepower on the day. They'll be hoping to find that again tonight. Everton's first ever official game on this ground. And it's live for you right after the break. Thomas Radzinski is the subject for Player Cam for Sky Digital viewers. Well, Everton may not be an express, but they do travel very much on football's main line. Percentages tell you that the longer a tie goes on, the more likely the bigger clubs to impose themselves. But Dario Gradi has been a miracle worker here for the best part of 20 years. Will some of his magic touch the FA Cup tonight? What annoyed Everton in the first game which wasn't refereed by Mark Halsey, incidentally. It was Uriah Rennie. It's a new policy by the FA this season to change for the replays. Not that there are many of them. Just one in this fifth round, just one in the fourth round. But we're delighted to bring it to you live, and Radzinski and Campbell get Everton going. What disappointed them in the first game, Everton, that they really didn't get Crewe onto the back foot. Clayton Ince cut out a lot of crosses, but had very few direct shots to save. And Rob Hulse, who's flicking it on here, did rattle Steve Simonson's crossbar in the second half. Sean Smith, the Crewe captain.
What you might find tonight, man, this might not be a cup tie in the way Leeds Cardiff was, say, because you do tend to think Dario Gradi's sides do like to get the ball down. They have beliefs in playing the game the right way, so to speak.
They've got a decent playing surface here on which to perform their skills. Certainly not troubled by the recent rain. It's still pretty blustery up in Cheshire. So the low route might be the more profitable one. Soji with the header. And David Wright, the Evertonian, at right back against Everton tonight, fighting in again. And here is Clayton Ince, the goalkeeper from Trinidad and Tobago, who's played more internationals than he has games for Crewe Alexandra. Alan Stubbs on the retreat, but chased all the way by the 18-year-old Ashton. And he's earned a throw to Crewe.
Well, he's given his goalkeeper a rollick. I'm not so sure his goalkeeper had anything to do with that. It'd been a dodgy back pass. I think Rose Ed would have been a good place for the ball. Certainly would have been a safer place for it.
Soji. Header by Ashton. Dean Ashton was taken off by Dario Gradi at half-time against Burnley on Saturday to emphasise that the young man is still learning his trade. Gary Naismith started the Merseyside derby on the left of midfield ahead of Pistone, but he's been left out tonight. Naismith at left back, Clark here at right back for Walter Smith, getting a good run in the side.
Just looking early, certainly David Ginola in the opening moments is restricting himself very much to the left-hand side of the football pitch. No sign of any wandering yet.
Here's Radzinski. That's a good ball. Attempted shot that has suddenly involved Ginola. Good fortune that might help the cup tie for the away side, who are trying to rid themselves, Everton, of a reputation of going out to sides from a lower division. Paul Gascoigne is here, but not in the 16, but not injured.
A little example of David Ginola. That's where I think he's better left side starting him up. He has the ability and such a talent to go off either foot, left or right. And when he tucks in like that, he normally occupies two players. Watch for Gary Naismith when he gets the ball, backing him up and just saying, go, let me have it, and he can cross it, or he can go and shoot himself.
Schindler's other games for Everton, and he was substituted at half-time in the Merseyside derby, had been playing off the front rather than wide on the left. And Everton should be buoyant from that point on Saturday, and surely match sharp direct from a Merseyside derby. The cup run started with a winning goal from Alan Stubbs, not too far away from here at Stoke City in round 3. He won't discourage Ince from coming to the edge of the penalty area to claim the ball, although he was able to get that at a very low point.
Well, that's the one criticism Walter Smith would be asking, why? All right, he comes and takes it full stretch. Can't argue with that. He takes the one so low down. No sign of a challenge.
Naismith goes out off right. "41 years since Crewe last beat a top division side. That was at Chelsea, and it's 54 years since they last did it here. But Everton are the team that have trouble. with sides from Division 1 and below. Went out of the Worthington Cup this season to Crystal Palace. Passing off Stoke and Leyton Orient in the last round. On from Lunt. Ashton has begun brightly. Little David Vaughan went towards the near post, had to check, he would have been offside. Collected by Wayne Collins, back here for a second spell. Lunt's got time for a cross. Ashton.
Getting in too easy there. Good play from Everton's point of view. Crewe delighted with the movement here, but nobody tracking any run at all. Really labouring to get out and close the ball down. What a goal, it's ambitious, difficult, early on in a cup tie. Nothing wrong with that, having a strike at goal.
And the two that Dean Ashton scored in the last round at Rotherham were special strikes. Clark. For Kevin Campbell, who's played here before, and is going to live in his memory. Got a hat-trick for Nottingham Forest the last time he was on this ground, and he actually scored his first senior goal at the ground that was known then as Gresty Road. It's called the Alexandra Stadium these days, and he was on loan from Arsenal at Leyton Orient back in 1989.
That's poor play from David Walton. Really should have dealt with the ball, much like Stubbs didn't do. He didn't either. Should have played it out, got themselves back. They've now given a free kick away in a real dangerous area.
Out to Crewe from the clearance. They've got their line on the edge of the area now. Gemmell. Back from Naismith. Really done by Vaughan. He's only had a handful of first-team games. Radzinski. Campbell. Alexanderson. So far too comfortable for Clayton Ince from Everton's point of view. There were three looking for the cross. Lunt. Tony Lunt is only 22 years old, has now played over 200 games in Crewe's first team. This extraordinary breeding ground of talent. A reputation now as good as any other in the country, and considerably better than most. And of course, the reputation works in their favour now. Parents know about it, and young potential footballers very much attracted to Crewe Alexandra. Here's Vaughan. Vaughan Smith, who scored the goal at Wembley that got Crewe into Division 1 in '97. Vaughan. And Hulse couldn't take it on.
Almost. He was pulled in at the back of Alan Stubbs. I wondered whether he'd stick this up, put a bit of height on it. He just pulls away. It's a lovely, dank little pass. It's only a foot or so away from getting hold of it, Hulse. Good start from Crewe. They've been bright. Tempo's been good in their game.
Well, they had a very good January when they won 4 games in a row, including 2 in this competition. February has been much frostier. The only game they haven't lost in February was the game at Goodison.
An example of the pace of Sodji there. Radzinski's no slouch, but he was well up for that.
Touched on by Ashton. It's almost finding a way through. Gemmell, inviting Campbell to chase. It's only the 3rd time in Crewe's history that they've been this far in the FA Cup. The only time they've got beyond the last 16 was a 114 years ago. Right. Picked off by Naismith. Challenged by Soji on Radzinski. Maybe it wasn't. No, I thought it was. Mark Hulsey has given the foul against the player who was born in England but brought up in Nigeria.
But that's what they're going to try and do with Everton. If he's going to stay that wide and not look as if he's going to get involved in anything other than standing there. It might be two things. It might be an out ball for Everton, but also might be an avenue for Crewe to explore down that side. Certainly if Wright goes ahead of the play with once, and Gary Naismith might have a problem or two to deal with.
It's good football from Crewe, true to Dario Gradi's traditions. It lacked the finish, but the passing was bright and breezy, and Everton was struggling to cope with it.
Kenny Lund just runs in. Naismith here, I just wondered, could he have gone on? Could he have taken it out his feet again as a big gap was beginning to appear? That's another attempt. I think that's one thing that gets your supporters up, confident.
Smith. Ashton has got a good understanding with Hulse. And Ashton again. Oh, it's bounced up off Simonson, and he snatched it away from the feet of Hulse.
Well, they're certainly not even thinking about passing it when they get within 30 yards. Lovely front man play between the two of them. Could have gone right to Lund. No thought in his mind of that. Wicked bounce. Start up just before the goalkeeper. Good reactions for the rebound.
Campbell. Radzinski.
Oh, it's gone up really late. First flag's gone up, man.
Right over.
Really late.
For us to spot from it was so tight to the touchline, even our own cameras are in the way, but the flag was up against David Schiller eventually.
Goes up really late. The ball's played to him. It's very, very touch and go there. Might just be ahead of play, but it didn't go up for a long, long time.
The early minutes showing that Crewe are, I think, first and foremost, Andy, enjoying not having the relegation pressures that they're having to live with game in, game out. So proud of their place in Division 1. And they're desperately wanting to hang on to it. The results have been poor recently in that respect. Some of that pressure is off here tonight. If they get beaten by Everton, well, no one's going to point too many accusing fingers at Dario Gradi's players. As of course they do themselves justice in the match. Certainly, the early signs are suggesting they will, whatever the result. Clark, Alexandra, Campbell, who's been a bit of a shadow of his former self since he's come back from his most recent injury, a lengthy absence through the latter months of the year 2001. Pembridge. Arriving at pace and with a bit of poise as well, but he's only prodded it in the end as far as Alexanderson. And a header by Walton tries to get his back line organised. Clark.
I think it's great to see a team play with such confidence when they're in tricky situations, but even the best players at every level know when not to take a chance. He got away with it, the young lad. Good covering round in the first place, an awkward ball we deal with.
He needs to get to grips with Dean Ashton, the way Ashton has started the game, and he won that header with a bit more bite.
Well, they've won a lot, the two front men. They've worked together well. A little step over and spin to create the chance. The last shot for Ashton was high quality indeed. Just approaching 15 minutes. Crewe have certainly had plenty of attempts at goal. Not always hit the target. Can't think of any Everton have had yet.
Another touch from Ashton. early to Radzinski. He's playing in the FA Cup for the first time tonight. There, Walker Smith will be looking keenly at his selection. I suspect he'll be in midfield. Alexandra and Pembridge haven't played too much. Gemmell has been very much a regular. He's the centre of the three. Lavichin loitering on the left, a bit further forward. And trying to provide some ammunition for Campbell and Radzinski. Ashton, and the ball through. Down goes Hulse.
Well, the movement's really posed the through. Experienced Everton centre-back's a real problem. That again, top class.
Ashton is there again. Here's Vaughan. Collins supported by Smith. Brammer gets a foot in. Good flick by Campbell. Taken on by the Welshman Pembridge. Plenty of space for Ginola. 4 forward for Everton here. Crewe getting their numbers back. Ginola gets his shot on target.
Made for Ginola. Made for him. Shifting hit. That's what everyone expects. Certainly I did. He didn't disappoint, but never quite found the far corner he was aiming for. It's the one at the other end we should be having a look at in a bit, I tell you. Whether it was any sign of a little tug back with the defenders.
Here's Lunt with the cross. And Brammer had got forward by the near post. It probably wasn't quite the ball that Kenny Lunt was looking for, but it's led to a corner.
Good pressure though. And they have started really well. Martin Dario Gradi would have wanted to have been in this game at the moment, not out of it. And I tell you what, his team have been more than that.
Well, they could take a short corner if they choose to do so, but Radzinski reacted quite well to make it 2 against 2.
Look at Brammer, I was just going to say right there where he played the ball to.
It's Brammer.
Corner. No. Well, I wondered about that.
He's powerful in the air, Dave Walton.
I think he's asking, he's probably saying if I'd have headed that would have been a goal. But this is the one, I think there's all the talk about. Wonderful spin, great run infield. Was anything there? Ooh, I tell you what, he might just have had a hold of the arm and stuff. Look, see him just grab the left arm, was it enough? Down he went. Tough one for the referee to give from where he's looking at that. And I don't think enough to warrant a penalty.
Great tenacity here from Vaughan. He's the much more experienced opponent in Alexanderson. Ashton. Lunt trying to find Hulse back close. It was too deep for him, but Vaughan keeping it going for Crewe. In first time towards Collins from Smith. More probing play from Crewe Alexandra.
Normally I'd be seeing in an FA Cup tie like this, Matt. Well, what Crewe have got to do is see it out. Make sure they don't concede. In actual fact, it's the Premiership side that have got to see it out. This is really good pressure from Crewe. Controlled football, attractive football. Can it be effective football? Can they score when they're on top of the game, when they've got some pressure mounting?
A little conflab about the corner. Lunt and Smith, eventually Smith, the left footer, went across, and they recognise the 2 against 1 here. Hulse, Lunt.
Well, straight from the training ground, you would have to guess that. It's far too deliberate to be anything else, you'd think. Worked it really well. Just the final ball from Lunt, just a tad high.
Walton has stayed forward. Simonson doesn't get there, and Dean Ashton did. Couldn't keep it down.
He's had so many attempts tonight, Dean Ashton, already in 20 minutes of football. Great leap. Goalkeeper not there. Just too much on it. The deftness of touches is needed. There's too much on the head. And anything glanced with the goalkeeper where he is gives Ashton his first goal of the night.
Now being followed by player cam as well as a lot of Premiership scouts. losing out rather easily to Sodje. For those two frontmen, both born here in Crewe, Ashton and Hulse, they know each other's game so well. And although Dario Gradi, as I said earlier, did take Ashton off at half-time here on Saturday, never really thought about changing the two that have written a few headlines already this season. Naismith, headed out by Walton, collected by Lutt. And its clearance was deflected. Should be a Crewe throw. Been here for 10 years or so, you just wouldn't recognise this ground. All four sides have been changed, new stands, especially on that far side, plenty of new young players as well.
Well, it wasn't quite as deft as I've ever there, but the movements caused trouble time and time again, and never more so when this little ball through here and he gets control of it now as he pulled back. Wow, it would have been real harsh, I think. Certainly there was some form of contact, but
you wouldn't say it was a 10 out of 10 penalty?
No, I wouldn't even have said it was 5 out of 10, Mark, I don't think. And from where Mark Halsey's got to make a judgment on that, which is down the pitch a bit, it would have been impossible to give.
Here's Hulse, fed by Lutt. That is going to be a whistle in favour of Crewe against Alan Stubbs. He's not going to leave much doubt to the officials this time.
Well, they're really having to work cut out Stubbs and Weir. This is an example because that's like it's almost a desperation tackle. They've been under so much pressure, the two centre-backs. I think they thought they'd be in a game tonight. I don't think they quite thought they'd have had to work as hard in the first quarter of the match as they have. They've got the little bunch there, the four players ready to spring. They know where they've got to go.
Smith takes it.
Poor delivery. That would have got a rap in the knuckles in the training ground off Dario, that delivery. I'll see, so I've been noted. 22 minutes, poor free kick. Knuckles wrapped half time.
From the captain as well. And halfway through the first half, it's been very progressive from the home team. That's one nearly up in Andy's lap.
Just controlled it as usual.
Should have gone to Sharpie, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
he was stuck there. Clark.
Yeah, just as I said like 10 minutes ago, I just think when you're Crewe, it's so important that you nick a goal when you're on top of the game, when you're playing at your best, and they have, with a wonderful quarter of the match, plenty of attempts at goal. I haven't quite found that one that matters.
Oh, Ashton can go all the way here. Dean Ashton, has he left Everton in his wake? He has done! Well, it's been coming. And from Ashton himself, he's been leading the charge.
Deserved. You cannot argue with the scoreline. Mark Pembridge, well, I wonder how he'll feel. The ball here in midfield, it breaks him. He loses control there. Not the best touch. And from then, I wonder, could Naismith get across? He almost does. But Ashton knows when to deliver. Commits the goalkeeper. Oh, what a cool head, Sean. What a cool head. And what a lovely finish.
Well, real pleasure for Dean Ashton and Crewe, some pain for Everton, particularly for Gary Naismith, who tried to get across, but didn't get there, because the 18-year-old knew exactly what he was going to do, and showed no sign at all of faltering.
This is a player calm, he flicks it on, but I like the way these front two spin again and go and join in. That's what you're taught to do when you're a kid. But you can see he comes across Naismith, he almost gets there. What a cool finish. never looked phased, never looked hurried, was always in control. The reputation grows.
He's found another nugget.
Naismith's got a real problem. Not only have they lost the goal, they might be losing a player. The left ankle, I think, is the one. If he's gone over in it, it could be a big problem. Ligaments might be damaged. It's just a knock. I'd expect to see him back. The Everton players are talking to each other, they're looking at each other in the centre circle. Stubbs is talking to Ginola, what's going on? We need more from you. You can't just stand out there left-hand side and watch the play and just join in when the ball gets to you.
David Unsworth, an FA Cup winner with Everton back in 1995, is amongst the Walter Smith substitutes today. And of course he would be the natural replacement at left back if Naismith can't carry on, but that decision hasn't been made yet.
I think David Weir and Alice Stubbs will be happy. The last 2 minutes there, while the injury was been treated as the quietest 2 minutes they've had since the game started. No, I'm being serious. I mean, they really have had a torrid time, Mark. I mean, it's a great example when you work with young players. And often you don't see it at Premiership level. You see two strikers actually working. Certainly in the way that I was taught, you work with a striker, the way you flick on, you spin and join in. You make runs off each other. You don't often see that in the Premiership now because you often get individuals playing up front. But they're giving a great example of front play, the two young lads. Oh.
They could be in again here. This is Hulse.
Just didn't get out of his feet, I don't think, enough. He got a little cramped. But again, I mean, is this brilliant front player or the centre-back's just not up to it at the moment because they're getting found out again. Just gets a little cramped. Might have taken it out his feet again. Simonson went to ground, goes to ground early there. Could he have taken out his feet again? Yeah, maybe that's a little too critical.
Naismith is back on. Cambridge was filling in at left back. And now David Vaughan shaken up here.
Yeah, this is just a clash. They both go in for that. You see the both balls and they get... There's always going to be contact, the leg on leg there.
Ginola has moved away from the left-hand side. This is not just a test of the class of the Everton players, it's a real test of their character as well, as a few of them have been on the wrong end of results in the domestic cup competitions against sides from a lower league.
Naismith, he might be on, Mark, but he's still hobbling about.
Radzinski, Campbell. And he is struggling, Gary Naismith. And Walter Smith will be keeping a very close eye.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Archie Knox, he's on there in the technical area, he's having a right go at his two centre-backs, he's absolutely furious, as he must be.
Cleared by Smith. Here wins the header against Ashton, who just likes to drop in the deeper of the two. He's up alongside the Hulse now, so they can switch the ball forward. Crewe again, as they've done so effectively, but looks for width. Gets it from Smith. Just nicked forward, away from Gemmell by Brammer. Vaughan trying to get it in behind those two centre-backs again.
I'll tell you the biggest worry for Dario Gradi will be with his team, Matt. Overconfidence.
Like that.
Seriously, I mean, they're just such as a domination in the game. He'll be thinking, please don't make a mistake by being too complacent, either in midfield or at the back. It's got to be concentration, concentration.
Well, they've let Cambridge run a very long way.
They desperately make amends for that piece of poor control on the halfway line. And there's no pressure on here. No one comes to meet him. It goes on and on and on, and even when he gets 25 yards out, still no one goes to the ball. They're so late in putting pressure on him.
And no wonder Clayton Ince turned round to yell not just at his back line, but about 8 or 9 of his players for not reacting to Pembridge's run. Half an hour gone. Camera switched from Dean Ashton to David Ginola for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404. Pembridge and Ginola are stopped by Wright. Gemmell on the scene.
That's every bit as good as the positive things he's done. Closing down, making sure the ball's not delivered without pressure forward.
Andy, just have a look at Everton at the back now.
Exactly what we're looking at.
Clark's gone into a 3, hasn't
he? It must be a 3. I mean, they're so worried, obviously, about the run around the 2 centre-backs are getting. They're having a right torrid time. They've decided to go with the 3. The extra defender, Naismith, obviously pushed up that left-hand side. That's why we're seeing Ginola a little more infield. A huge compliment to the front 2 that Crewe have picked tonight, that is.
Lunt. Sodge's header. Here is Peter Clark, who probably enjoy having a chance in the middle of the defence, even being on the left of a 3. Pembridge.
The 1-0 for Everton. I mean, poor as they've been, there's no need for a panic. There's no need for Everton to panic other than try and just nibble your way back in. I mean, he'll be really disappointed, the Everton manager, at the way his team have started. I don't think he could have envisaged such domination from Crewe. But it's important that Everton dig their way back in. Just find a little something. A little bit of pressure, a few attempts on goal. Just give Crewe something to worry about.
Boos from the occupants of that stand on the far side. I thought Ashton had been fouled. And of course he was even closer to the action, he didn't.
A good tracking. Sean Smith, the left back, found himself with Ginola but didn't disengage, went right across the pitch and dealt with him.
The winners, let me remind you, away to Middlesbrough in the quarter-finals of the AXA-sponsored FA Cup. Ginola, who's been as far as the semi-finals with Spurs. Naismith. Now Pembridge. Sodge getting a bit close to his goalkeeper, but no real alarms for Crewe. It might be a Holston nick for Everton, but Stubbs reacted. Here's Alexandra.
Well, that's better from Everton. Nice piece of play for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Had some pressure, left side, then right.
Alexanderson. Taken by Naismith. Takes over again from Clark and is looking much freer in his movement now, the Scottish international. What Crewe's recent record tells you, Andy, that they can play well in games, but the consistency even within one match has been elusive for Dario Gradi. And they played extremely well here apparently against Wolves, and then from 0-0 they went to 4-0 down in a rather rapid spell of time.
Now, I think that's what you would be thinking, that this is a side who have lost the last 3 home games, 2 of them by big margins, conceded 12 goals in those 3 games, so it doesn't suggest that they're absolutely watertight. And Everton would feel that certainly Radzinski and Campbell and Ginola, if they create a chance, they've got 3 players there that should be able to take one. And as I've said, 10 away goals and 14 away matches won't fill Everton supporters full of confidence that even though Crewe might be low in the first division, the 2 goals are there for Everton to get. They're going to have to work extremely hard to get back in.
We shouldn't forget that Everton are low in the Premiership.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to avoid yet another relegation fight. Preserve their unbroken run in the top division that goes back to the 1950s. Brammer, he started at Wrexham. He got in the team as a teenager, and Brian Quinn used to say he had an old head on young shoulders. So back goes Simonson. I'm sure Sean Smith wasn't going directly for goal, but he very nearly found it.
No, he just couldn't get the angle on the cross because he was closed down. But he was going to cross it anyway. You watch the pressure, he gets put under, so you won't get the angle on the cross. But it's enough, and it's dropping under, and it's dropping in. The goalkeeper has to deal with it, backing away. Got 2v1 out there of Everton are real.
Smith, Brammer, the same one, same routine. Not quite as well executed this time. Crewe, very good value for their 1-0 lead. Weir. He was close to handling that.
Well, hold on, the flag's went up.
Now, Clayton Ince is in trouble here.
Now, what I think, this is an amazing decision for a linesman to make, who is not in line with anything, but he's looking straight at it. I mean, you and I had trouble distinguishing from a better angle than the linesman whether he was outside the box. And even from here, as he comes out, he punches, it's really hard to see whether he's outside. I think it's really impossible. He's not, but how the linesman can stick up a flag, and really, had that been red?
Well, you wondered for a moment whether it would be, and it would have turned this cup tie on its head. Even should it be a free kick at all? Well, Everton have got one. That's the other side of the argument. But I guess, was there a possibility it might have been given for something else?
But did you see it there? I mean, he's punched it. He's given a free kick, the linesman. It must have been for handball. We'll clear that up at half-time, I'm sure of that.
Well, danger still not cleared yet, because here's the corner. Alexandra, Ginola, Campbell's header, but it wasn't a really threatening one, and that passage of play, all coming from the Clayton Ince incident, has finally come to an end.
Well, this is a good cross in, and it's a decent chance for Kevin Campbell. He's a very, very capable header of the ball. It has been a much better 5 minutes for the Premiership side. The change at the back has helped them. They've been able to have more ball in midfield, and therefore get more ball forward.
Smith. A claim from Ashton himself. Campbell. Alexandra. Now Gavin. Ginola taking over. In the centre, someone's got to check out to the left, or have they, as Ginola tries to take on Crewe with one of those trademark runs of his. Coolly done by Ashton. Holt's turn to try and screen it and hold it up, but he couldn't manage that time.
Well, half-time's big in this match. You just feel that Dario Gradi's side have got to get there at 1-0. It looked comfortable 7 or 8 minutes ago. Looking less so now as ever. Begin to get more possession.
With scrapping in there for Crewe from Collins. Pembridge. Lumpy hasn't got too much weight to throw about in the tackle, but he won the ball there. Vaughan. Smith outside him. Two front men on the move, as they have been right from the very first whistle.
Well, I think he should have shifted it to Smith. Left side, left back and going in the overlap was in a much better angle to cross it.
Brammer is the man who can pull the strings centrally for Crewe. They can get him on the ball. It's a rarity here. He's a bought player at quite a hefty price, £500,000 from nearby Port Vale. Smith. There's no flag, and there's in the end no touch for Dean Ashton. But let's have another look at his goal.
Well, he's been quiet in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the match, but what a part he plays here. The flick on, and then the pouncing on that. Bad control. Well, at any level, that's a real calm, cool finish.
And it's come from the youngest player on the pitch. Not much older, David Vaughan, at 19. Campbell. Sojay coming across and didn't have the greatest starting position, but again his natural speed worked well. That's his kick, chested down by Kevin Campbell. And the goalkeeper loves to come for the crosses, couldn't go for that one. Regained by Gemmell for Everton. Pembridge. Campbell, but Walton was very firm. Campbell looking appealingly at the referee, who's already got into the Everton half in case Crewe counter-attack. Vaughan. Ashton letting the pace on the pass do the work for him. Lunt.
This is where they might look to get in, using 2v1 against wing-backs now that Everton have employed.
Lunt. Horace.
And he's given a free kick against him. He looks perplexed, the boy. Me, you can see the surprise. No way.
Well, a pay-per-view event for you on Saturday at 5. Newcastle against Arsenal from the Premiership. 08705 160 160 is the phone number for further information.
Well, I'll just write that down. Can't no miss that one. Well, he's been lively, he's been involved. Plenty of attempts, 2 on target. One big important one found the back of the net. Just how important, well, the next 45, 50 minutes is going to tell.
Well, just for the record, and Walter Smith won't want to hear these figures, the last 16 domestic cup competitions Everton have entered, they've gone out to lower division opponents on 11 occasions. Including the last 3 in a row, Bristol Rovers and Crystal Palace in the Worthington Cup, Tranmere Rovers comprehensively at home in the 4th round of this competition, the FA Cup a year ago. They're trailing to Crewe of Division 1 here. Some stoppage time for the injury to Gary Naismith immediately after the goal.
So at least be a couple of minutes, Mark, I guess.
There's a lucky ricochet that favours Pembridge this time. And it's led to Thomas Radzinski equalising right on the 45-minute mark.
Well, just as Crewe were threatening, so have Everton been since Walter Smith made the change. And what a big change it's proved to be. They've turned the tide. They've asked questions of their own. I just don't know how well David Wright defends this. The right full back as it comes across. He's with Radzinski. He's in his area. He lets the ball go across him. He might have been worried about scoring an own goal, but I think you have to deal with it if you can. He lets it go across. Radzinski's only a small lad. That is just a simple nod. I just think the fullback might have done better. What a big goal for Everton. Said half-time getting there at 1-0. So important for Crewe. They haven't done it.
David Wright with the cross. Ashton, but the whistle's gone against Hulse again. Oh, it's a setback for Dario Gradi. Thomas Radzinski on his FA Cup debut. An FA Cup goal. And a vital time for Everton. And Mark Pembridge certainly showing that he's not just a one-footed player with that right-footed cross.
And he'll feel happier for his miscontrol. Contributed hugely to Ashton getting away and scoring, giving Crewe the lead.
Soji, out comes the goalkeeper, and he took everything.
Well, again, right back not dealing with the cross as well as he should have done.
Clark, Ginola, different mood about Everton now. Possibly going at half-time in front. Ginola, not one of his better crosses. Pembridge's was good enough, and Radzinski is another of the players that Walter Smith hasn't had available week in, week out this season, and he's certainly looked effective when he has been fit. Back with a bang in the Merseyside derby. Came on as a substitute then, given the start tonight. And a goal right at the end of this first half. Everton breathing easier. Ginola. Now Weir. Soji was on the back foot. Radzinski certainly wasn't. Campbell might have made something for himself here. It's a fine block by Walton. But Everton finishing the first half on the up. They certainly didn't start it well. Dean Ashton was leading them a merry dance and was well rewarded with a wonderful breakaway goal. But Walter Smith's great credit, he changed his tactics to improve things defensively. And Thomas Radzinski headed in the equaliser right on half-time. We restart at 1-1. Crewe scored first. An outstanding goal from an outstanding young player, Dean Ashton. Thomas Radzinski knocked in the equaliser. And Everton will hope that they can wipe out potential embarrassment in this second half. They have such a fantastic record in the FA Cup down the years. 23 semi-finals, the most of any English club. 12 times finalists in the FA Cup, 5 times winners. Pembridge. Collins got the man rather than the ball.
Well, looking at Everton, it looks like they've definitely gone to a 4 back at the back, which, well, I guess if you're the front two of Crewe, you'd say, thank goodness, well done, we'll have a bit more of that, but I cannot believe that the back 4 of Everton will play as poorly as a unit as they did in the opening half hour of the match. Clark coming from right back is in a deep position. The ball almost reached him there over Alexandra.
Let's hear about those substitutions from Jeff Shreves.
Martin, both substitutions are injury-related. As you know, Gary Naismith had hurt his ankle and David Ginola hurt his knee.
Touched on by Campbell. So it's a knee injury, Mr. Gray.
My apologies, David. Thought one might have been tactical, like Mr. Sharp.
Ashton climbing well to defend. It's gone out. Little contest there between Clark and the diminutive David Vaughan, but Vaughan was refusing to be out-muscled and won the day. Alexandra didn't get very far. Stand forward by Walton for Crewe. Lunt trying to duck into it and head it forward, so there's no real dangerous, deliberate boot by Gravison, who's raised the foot there to reasonable effect as well. Radzinski. Soji could have maybe knocked it out, but didn't. Radzinski's still going. Gets nothing for it because it's a goal kick.
That wasn't the most convincing attempt to win the ball from Soji. Height and weight advantage as he comes over. It was rather tentative, you know. You want to see centre-backs take both ball and player, make sure they clean everything out. Certainly if you're Dario Grandi, that's what you want to see him do.
Thumping header by Unsworth, and he's right on the edge of his area again. Clayton Ince.
That was close.
Gravison. Campbell looking for Gemmell, and just about found him. Alexanderson, Clark really on the scamper from right back. Alexanderson is in behind Crewe here. Pembridge trying to convert the cross.
That was much better defended from David Wright. Fullback made sure nothing was happening there. But they've carried on with the left off Everton, beginning of the second half. On the front foot, pushing Crewe back.
Campbell going to the near post. Ooh, and there's a real complaints there that the referee didn't point to the penalty spot from Everton.
Well, Campbell ducks under it, I think, as he goes near post. Watch Kevin Campbell, he ducks under it, leaves it. Ball sits up. See where the referee is. Again, it's blind side of him. And I don't think there was much movement about the ball. I think he was just taken by surprise by Campbell's dummy.
It was Dean Ashton. Strong play here from Holtz. He's involved again by David Wright. Wright plays it forward earlier and towards Ashton. Brammer. Who did play a Premiership opposition here in the Worthington Cup back in the autumn. They lost 3-2 to Ipswich. Radzinski. Sochi's got to be careful. He's overcomplicating the issue rather.
Well, Jeff Thomas did warn us at the beginning of the game that sometimes his decision-making, it lets him down. That's at the end of it. I mean, having gotten there and won it and could have dealt with it quite comfortably, he ends up scrambling and giving away a free kick.
Well, at his best, he's a genuine candidate for international honours with Nigeria, but below that, FA is rather iffy. And you're always going to spot him with the bandana. Pulse, who climbed highest in his own penalty area.
There's been any ball on though, just got to play it. Hopefully somebody can catch the play up, otherwise it's coming straight back just like that.
Drama caught in possession by Campbell. It was a sluggish start by Everton here. They've solidified their performance, particularly helped by finding an equalising goal. With the lack of firepower, always a worry for Walter Smith. Let's go back to that adventure for Clayton Ince on the edge of his penalty area at the start of the second half.
Well, I just wondered if it was coming. I mean, I think that would have been really harsh again if that flag had gone up. He just about got it right. Unfortunately, Mark Halvey didn't have a decision to make.
Number 2 at the moment for Trinidad and Tobago to Shaka Hislop of West Ham. Alexandra, Pembridge, Radzinski thought about hitting it first time, then thought better of that. Gravison, Gemmell, Unsworth, Radzinski, Pembridge. Gets stuck in the end.
Good take in the end. Beautiful crisp shot. That's you and I right behind us as he hits his Pembridge. Got a lovely left foot, Mark Pembridge. Struck it beautifully. Just about kept a hold of it.
Wayne Collins was at Fulham and took part in a couple of FA Cup upsets, if you can call them that, with Fulham being the lower division club. I remember he scored twice. They knocked out Wimbledon, who were then a Premiership team, Fulham in Division 1. Fulham very much on the up, though Collins didn't progress into the Premiership with them. Well, you know Rob Hulse is around if you're a centre-back, and Stubbs' method of coping with the irritation, catching the eye of the referee. The battle will go on, the movement goes on, and the referee continues to keep a close watch on it.
Well, he's just asking me to take it back, saying he didn't blow his whistle. Wait for me, I'll never blow my whistle. Problem 4, I think Stubbs and me in particular, Mark, is the movement. They're always busy, they're always moving, and in the modern game, people get hold of shots in situations like this just to stop it.
Simonson, with the 3 coming in at him in red shirts, kept his eye on the spherical white object. Brammer, Smith, now Vaughan. The Everton supporters are all in the stand beneath our camera platform. So should there be a penalty shootout, there'll be Crewe fans at both ends, so deciding shouldn't be a problem. Here's Lunt. Pembridge. Radzinski coming back to get a useful touch. Campbell able to turn. Pembridge. It's worth going past him on the outside. Backed up from deeper by Gemmell. Gravison. Clark can carry it on here for Everton. At times have spread the ball around with a glimmer or two of Premiership pedigree.
There's a much better balance to the side. That's the biggest difference, and I mean across the midfield, second half Everton.
Vaughan, it's a shrewd ball by Smith. Vaughan's cross. Stubbs rather skewed it, certainly miscued it.
I think the old shin pad played a part here. It's a horrible ball to deal with if you're a defender, because not only are you facing your own goal, it skips up just in front of you. And it's been a pretty slick surface tonight. I think the players, although it's incredibly windy, will have enjoyed the fact that the ball's moved across the grass pretty well.
It's a corner for Crewe. 10 minutes into the second half. Can they regain the lead? Ashton. Oh, and off the line from Hulse.
What a day, what a night Mark Pembridge is having. What a night he's having. Back in control. Crewe take the lead. Great cross. Everton equalise. Hulse heads at home. No, you haven't. Pembridge off the line. Well, he's a bit like me, Walter Smith. He likes two in the post, and that's the reason why.
It's too high for Pembridge, and although we're talking about an FA Cup quarter-final place as the main priority tonight, we shouldn't forget that for the Everton players, there are places in the side on a regular basis up for grabs, really. So many changes, you wonder whether Walter Smith's been in a position to know what his strongest starting 11 would be if everybody's fit.
I think he's probably got an idea. Whether he's ever had the chance to pick it this season it remains debatable.
Well, on tonight's performance, there'll be a place for Mark Pembridge. A bit of concern here for Campbell. It's going to be a free kick for Everton as well. Another of the former FA Cup winners in the Everton ranks, not with Everton of course, but with Arsenal 9 years ago now. Unsworth. Stubbs going for it. Oh, and it's spilled. Two Stubbs, popped on the line by Soche, so one off the line at both ends.
Well, he made the right decision there. If his decision-making's in doubt at times, this is a great decision. He knows the goalkeeper's coming. He gets behind him very, very quickly. And had he not, well, Everton would be in the lead.
Well, Hulse misjudged that.
Lynch's handling at Goodison was absolutely top draw. Every cross, I think, he took clean as you like. He's a confident big lad, you can see that. That might just have dented it a touch.
With a name like Ince, he should be confident, shouldn't he? Unsworth does sometimes overcook his passes, David Unsworth. But Efesoggi has had some misjudgments in this match, got this, as Andy says, absolutely right.
Well, he's good. He realises his goalkeeper's made the mistake. You know, they get a couple, and both centre-backs get round and back, very responsible defending. Excellent.
He still rather side-footed it out, didn't he?
Yeah. But he got it out. Yeah. I think the problem as well, Crewe are having, because the wind is obviously blowing right to left as viewers look at it, it's helping Everton. Making it more difficult for Crewe to get out in one ball. You know, they've got to play a couple of passes in midfield and feed it down the sides for the front men, or else Everton just keep knocking these long balls back in, keeping the pressure on, keeping the ball at the left-hand side.
But they're still holding Everton, this Cheshire club that for a long time has lived in the shadow of not just the two big clubs from Merseyside and the two from Manchester, but also Stoke and Port Vale, the nearby Potteries. Well, they're above both of them now in the league's pecking order. Skimmed forward by Smith. Radzinski. Sochi's gone with him. Still Radzinski. He's just got to wait for his teammates to arrive, and there was one, Scott Gemmell in particular, who got to the corner of the goal area, and if there hadn't been a deflection on the cross, maybe Radzinski would have picked him out and Everton would be in front.
Good support play from Everton players. Gemmell, Campbell, Pembridge, all made 18-yard box.
Clark's throw. Stubbs had come forward. Campbell. Stubbs complaining that his shot was handball. In goes Radzinski! Oh, there were two behind him. Radzinski missed the ball and that rather distracted his teammates.
I think it split the two of them. I think the ball went right between Campbell and Pembridge.
Bramah. Here's the willing Rob Hulse, but the ball just holding up on the wind again and conveniencing Crewe's attempt to break away. Tiger's gone up against Radzinski, who is coming back.
Well, this is a chance. Radzinski, you can see him there, just about penalty spot, but he's such a live wire, and so alert, he's just going to tap in near post. He misses it right between Campbell and Pembridge. Oh. So close, Radzinski, to get something on that.
He's earned the right to be under the gaze of the player cam, hasn't he, Mark Pembridge?
It's been eventful.
That's for Sky Digital viewers, of course, on channel 404. Followed by David Wright. Vaughan. He's Welsh-born, David Vaughan. 11th first-team game, and two of them have been against Premiership teams. The same Premiership team twice, to be totally accurate. Pembridge, of course, is also Welsh, and left-sided, considerably more senior than David Vaughan. Got more than 40 caps. Here is Vaughan. Unlucky, good idea to try and pick out the runner. Again, good movement up front, but they're not getting quite the same sort of supply, Hulse and Ashton.
Everton defending better. I mean, it's a much tighter back four.
It needed to be.
Yeah, well, I just thought the two full-back, Clark and Naismith, first half, we got a little bit stretched and spread, Martin. And we're never rounding the cover the way you should be when you're playing a four at the back.
It's pass. Neil Sorvell, who did start the game at Goodison, was then dropped after the home defeat here a couple of days later against Wolves. So those going to re-emerge in this fifth round FA Cup tie. Good work by Vaughan, Smith, Bramah. Hasn't been at his most influential tonight.
No, I don't think he has. You're right. He talked about when he plays well and is at the top of his game, then he usually pulls all the strings and makes his team play. Hasn't quite been like that tonight. And he's making his way to the side of the pitch, which does suggest he knows his number, and it is going up.
Neil Sorvell's an interesting character in that he was a Crewe product. But after a handful of first-team games, he was released by Dario Gradi. And he was away 7 years at Macclesfield, but they brought him back. Blocked. Sorvell was probably slightly more athletic than Dave Bramah, and it's the movement that Everton have had in midfield that Crewe has struggled to cope with. Vaughan.
Oh, that's a free kick. That's been a free kick.
Well, I guess he left the advantage for the shot.
It's no real advantage on that, is it? A ball set up
if it goes in the top corner.
Yeah, but I mean, that's... I think you can have a look, and if no advantages have been gained, then you just bring it back. Simple as that.
Radzinski. Now Pembridge. "20 minutes gone in the second half, no change to the half-time scoreline. Ashton for Crewe, Radzinski for Everton, the men on target in the first period. Radzinski. Smith made sure it didn't get to Alexanderson. And he was put his body in front of Gravison there. Did Collins. Drew the foul, really. Smith. Here's Vaughan. Well, the referee, who was 8 yards away, had a look at an assistant who was probably 48 yards away, certainly 38, and went on the flag. Collins. It's a miscue by David Wright. Hembridge. Gravison chasing. Wright trying to make up for his error, and Gravison bulldozed into it.
They've got to be so careful at the back. The Crewe players, the way the wind is, the ball's going to arrive at them at pace, awkwardly at times. As it showed there, you've got to deal with it.
Just hearing, Andy, that Dave Brammer had an abdominal strain, and I'm not surprised. He didn't look his true self.
No.
Alexanderson. Brammer's misfortune is to Sorvel's advantage.
I was just looking at the stats there and talking about Everton and goal scoring away from home. Only, I think, 3 times this season have they scored twice away from home. And so that just shows you the kind of poor form they've been in away from Goodison.
Well, this is against the team that have let in 12 in the last 3 home games. They've shown more than a hint of vulnerability. Gravison. It's determined work by Walton. Sets the right example at the back. Gravison. It's Anderson going through the centre. Radzinski right of him, but taking the pace out of the ball as it dropped. Ashton. Backed up by Sorva. Collins. Sodje. He did well to make that his. Chance to spread the play for Everton here, but he's closing down by Kenny Lunt. Unsworth. Pembridge. Now they might get away. Campbell. Furthest right is Radzinski. Through Sodje. Campbell could turn, does turn, scores! And it looks to some personal relief. He's been short of goals, Kevin Campbell, but we said at the start, this ground has been good to him down the years, and it's good to him again.
Well, again, the defender doesn't deal with the ball across. This time it's Sodje. Ball squirms through his legs, and what a finish this is from Campbell. Not easy at all, but he first of all uses his strength, and he spins away from Walton, and what a finish with the left foot into the far corner. A really clean, crisp strike. Not enough pressure on the ball wide. Radzinski got it in too easy. But you have to admire the finishing here from Kevin Campbell. Just uses his body to keep the defender away. Great finish.
And Everton have scored 2 goals away from home at the Alexandra Stadium. And it's the captain who's come up trumps. Well, Crewe started so well, now they need to rouse themselves towards the finish of the game. Weir. promising of another substitution. We've got the fleet-footed Rodney Jack as an attacking option. Smith. It's an excellent hold-up play again. And Holt's held up himself by the referee's whistle.
Got a chance to deliver from a good area.
Here's Rodney Jack getting ready. He certainly goes for broke, Dario Gradi, league games or cup games. And
well, he's got to go for broke the cup game, didn't he? 2-1 down, running out of time.
Get it past the two-man wall, back in by Collins, cleared by Campbell. Back by Wright, Soji stayed forward, and a chance for Everton really to break with Crewe short of numbers at the back. They've regrouped a bit more here. Mistake by Collins, Gravison, Radzinski. One more would be a clincher, you feel. Radzinski. Sochi did really well that time. It's been a mixed bag of a match for him. And Alexandra wins a corner in the end off Smith.
That was a really good block and an important one. Good movement from Everton. Ball travelled really well from one to another.
Full Everton contingent amongst the supporters here, starting to enjoy their evening now. Gravison, always veering away.
Well, it's not been his best season, as you've said, Martin. He's had stick at times, but there's an awful lot of Everton fans who will have forgiven him now for that there, the awareness to let it go across your body. Spin, he knows the goals ain't moving. The manager will have enjoyed that, you bet. Deserved applause.
Rodney Jack is on for David Vaughan, who can be pleased with his evening's work. Jack, another of the rare, expensive signings by Crewe. Alexandra, 650,000 from Torquay over 3 years ago now. Campbell. I say expensive by Division 1 standards, shall we say. Certainly by Crewe standards. They are, of course, we shouldn't forget, very much a selling club. Works here because there's always someone coming along the production line to fill in the gaps. Radzinski, there's some gaps in the Crewe defence here, though. Alexanderson, great goalkeeping, but he doesn't know where the ball is, Clayton Ince. Alexanderson seized it back. Wants to go for Radzinski. Cambridge in the thick of it again. Jack trying to get round the outside of Clark, who's having none of it. Fine defending by the young Everton talent, who's holding down his place at a time of much change in Walter Smith's ranks. Unsworth, sensing some cup glory again to be part of this season. Remember, should Everton go through, it's Middlesbrough away a week on Sunday in the quarter-finals.
The problem for Crewe at the moment, Mark, is you just can't get the ball forward enough times.
Gravison.
At the moment, it looks more likely that Everton will extend the lead rather than Crewe get back in it. very little for them to cause Everton concern. Second half defensively, that one off the line really.
Inside the final 15 minutes, unless Crewe can extend it into extra time. Everton have come from behind to lead 2-1. Campbell and Radzinski, they're two goal scorers. Unsworth. Pembridge. Oh, and Unsworth didn't want it back.
Well, he did, but not there. But that's been a major difference, the fact that Pembridge has shifted. They've got to a natural four, whereas Ginola first half just stood out left, never bother getting the ball going back the pitch at all. And I think Crewe enjoyed having the extra man as they did in midfield for the majority of that. Second half was totally different. Pembridge had worked up and down left side. Alexanderson the same on the right. Gravison and Gemmell centrally. They looked a lot better shape.
Everton voices you're hearing in this capacity crowd. Just over 10,000. Gravison. And Ince has kicked it straight to Campbell. Unsworth. 10,073, the exact attendance. The best ever here by 7. Benrix, another from Dario Gradi's production line, comes on as he did at Goodison Park. And it's Wayne Collins who goes off. A 4-3-3 now for Crewe, with Jack up top alongside Ashton and Hulse, who have been somewhat reined in as the game has developed. But my goodness, from Everton's point of view, they needed some controlling because they led far more experienced defenders a merry dance for the opening half an hour. UEFA Cup action for you Thursday at 7, Sky Sports Extra. Leeds and PSV 0-0 from the first leg. Sorted out at Ellen Road. Watch it with us. And on Saturday, Newcastle against Arsenal. It's a Premiership Plus pay-per-view event. For further information, 08705 160 160. That's the number to call. Tobias Linderoth, who has been in Walter Smith's side for the last 3 games, is going to replace Kevin Campbell. David Weir takes on the captaincy.
He's limping off slightly, Kevin Campbell, so suggests he has taken a knock. No need to, or no, not wanting to aggravate it.
Swede alongside Alexanderson. We can hear about that change from Jeff Shrews. Jeff.
Everton's second goal scorer, Kevin Campbell, is off because he's picked up a calf strain.
Well, if they hang on to the lead that Campbell has given them. All well and good for Everton. Should it go to extra time? Lacking a potent attacker. They're very much a midfield man.
Well, he's just going to drop in beside Gemmell, and what they've said to Gravison. Gravison's the one who's been told, you've got to play forward of the midfield in between sort of Radzinski.
That's a mistake here that Radzinski could punish and round off an Everton victory, but he hasn't done it.
Oh, it's a good effort, a really good effort. That's exactly what he wants to do here, Radzinski. Going to go right across the defender onto his strong side. Look at the pace. And then he wants to pull it back across the goalkeeper. Very, very nearly tied it all up for Everton.
David Wright, who was the lead Crewe defender. Same player who's jumping here with Pembridge. Walton. Luntz is tucking it round the corner, but Gemmell first to it for Everton, and then how does Kenny Lunt manage to knock David Unsworth over? It's a few pounds difference there, or kilos, I guess we should say these days. Gravison challenging for that in the air in his more advanced role since Campbell's gone off. Ashton, who turned into trouble. Jack. Sent forward by Smith. Knocked up by Stubbs. It's a case of concentration out the back for Everton.
There's a difference, isn't it? I mean, first half, Stubbs tried to take one down, run it out of play. Not this time, not this late in the game. Let's get it out, get back, shape, discipline.
4-3-3 formation emphasised by Dario Gradi a moment or two ago. It doesn't matter what shape you're in if you can't get the ball. And that's been an increasing problem for Crewe in the second half. Linderoth. Alexanderson. It's a strange one.
What did he spot there?
Orthodox from Radzinski. Might see a gap to scurry through. Better of it. Gemmell. Good possession from Everton again. Gravison got in his mind this time. Radzinski, that didn't come off. Alexanderson. Around the outside of Walton. He's been drawn out of the centre. Suchi's in there marking Radzinski. There's the two of them. And Pembridge. Suchi got enough solid contact to avoid deflecting the ball into his own net, but it was a real problem for him.
I feared from there. This is great play by Gemmell, who spots Pembridge is there. And he just rifles it across goal. Could have gone anywhere. Sits up, hits him in the shin. 3-1, it's all over.
Both Weir and Stubbs have come forward for the corner, which Pembridge takes. Three up front, all really going for the same ball.
They've not won nearly as many in the air, have they? Not in the second half. They almost won every ball between them. The two front men of Crewe, they haven't won any second half. Stubbs and Weir have been a bit more what they should have been. Premiership-like defenders.
It's come off Unsworth. Hulse. Sorvel, but Pembridge is there again. Only momentarily. Lump got the better of it. Ricks with a chance to nick it back for Crewe. Graverson. Crewe do have games in hand in their fight for survival in Division 1. And this cup run has certainly brought them some financial gain. But it does look as though it's drawing to an end, and they can concentrate on keeping the status that they've had for 5 seasons now here.
Well, he's driving them forward. He's quite right, they might as well lose 3. So get up, this guy wants it to go long, ball down, and then you, midfield players, pick up anything that drops.
Lunt. Slight risk there of Weir and Stubbs confusing each other. Linderoth pressed by Silval, but fouled by him. 2 more seconds pass, and time is the friend of Everton here. Knox has still got plenty to say on Everton's behalf.
Just wants to see it out. Simple as that.
Clark. Very efficiently done. Soji likewise. On from Smith. Dukes found it hard to get into the game. Still hope for Crewe, particularly with Ashton around, but Weir had him in his sights then.
Yeah, they've been much better. David Weir and Stubbs, you can see that. Tried to make the same sort of runs at times, but not been as easy for the front 2.
Smith. That's a corner. Everton have pulled everyone back. They're a minute plus added time away from booking their place in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup.
Oh, it's just so important that good delivery comes in, Mark.
Exactly. It didn't. And Crewe have to carve out something a much less structured situation. Lunt does get across it.
And away, 1v1, if he fancies it.
One is Radzinski. It's not quite 1v1 now, though. Decided to
straight at the defender.
cut across the pitch. Rather than go for goal himself. Cleared by Clark.
I mean, I just can't believe that decision. I thought they'd gone straight at him or down the far side, run it into the corner, but he runs right across the pitch and loses possession.
Ricks. His fledgling career already has an FA Cup goal in the 3rd round win over Sheffield Wednesday. Gemmell. There was a late challenge by Smith.
He might get booked for that. Oh, we're into stoppage time.
First third of the game to Crewe by some margin, territorially, just by 1 goal on the scoreline. But the other 2/3, Everton have eased their way through the gears, and Smith's booking another the barometer here that shows it's gone against his team. Alexandra is back on.
stuck him up front. I think he has got a bit of a problem. And they pulled Gravison back to his position right side. They want someone who can run and who can tackle these last couple of minutes.
Used all the substitutes, of course.
There hasn't been a lot in it, Martin, I have to say. This game, take a lot of good things out at Crewe. Should it finish like this?
Here's David Wright. Loved. Cleared the man on the edge of the area, Sorvel. Zinski left the chase alone on that occasion. He just switched off for a second, so it'll come straight back at Everton with Kenny Lund. Ashton.
Looked to turn and hit.
It was Holtz rather this time. And 2 extra minutes.
Yeah, that must surely be it now. They'll take their time with the throw. I imagine they toss it down the line into the corner. Surely can't be enough time for Crewe to win the ball back up the pitch and get an equaliser.
Seconds, and Mark Halsey sees that as deliberate time wasting. So there's a yellow card here for Peter Clark. Irritate the referee into adding on a few more seconds as well. Apart from the actual time that was wasted. Lunt is the way out, the way forward for him. He finds one. Ashton muscled out of it by Stubbs. Everton are into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. The captain, Kevin Campbell, though he didn't finish the game in terms of staying on the pitch, finished off Crewe Alexandra, short of goals in the Premiership, but he's going well in the FA Cup. Radzinski came up with the equaliser after Crewe had started like an express train, and Dean Ashton had roared away to score an outstanding goal. He's been in the national limelight and may stay there with his talent. Much appreciated financial gain for Crewe from an FA Cup run that has been ended here tonight. Everton are now at Middlesbrough a week on Sunday. Premiership opposition after 3 rounds in a row, avoiding the embarrassment against lower league opposition that has blighted the club in so many recent seasons. Nice gesture at the end between victor and vanquished, and it's finished here. Crewe 1, Everton 2.
Yeah, it is, especially after losing a goal like this. You know, in the beginning, okay, we play against the wind, but there's no excuse of losing a goal here. But we came back, we fought, especially second half. We showed that we still can play football, and I think we did deserve to win today.
Were you surprised how far they pushed you?
Yeah, actually we were, but I think it's because we didn't go into the game from the first minute. So if you let them play, they come as far as they can. So it was actually our mistake.
Was it their front two in particular that caused problems with their pace?
Yeah, especially the first 20-25 minutes. Big guys, strong guys, and with the help of the wind, yeah, of course they managed to outplay our defense.
You've been out for a while yourself, but 2 goals in 4 days. You've certainly announced you're back.
Yeah, I'm glad the goals are coming back, because it's been a long time since I did play, and the goal is really a big relief for me, and I'm going to celebrate it tonight a little bit.
And also, Everton have struggled to score away from home, haven't they?
Yeah, and we won away from home. That's also a big plus.
Quarter-finals of the FA Cup now, Middlesbrough. What are your thoughts there?
Well, every game is going to be a very difficult one. Of course, we go away. It's never easy, but you know, it's a cup. Anything can happen, and I hope for the best for us. I've never been in an FA Cup, so hopefully we can get as far as possible.
Well, well done tonight. You're the AXA man of the match. Congratulations.
Great. Thanks a lot.